And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to the Superhero Hour on Board at Work, and thank you for joining us. We have, if you haven't seen anything about Superhero Hour, it's usually on our comic book and entertainment channel called On Board, and we have a show where we run and talk about comic books, action, TV shows, movies, all that fun stuff. And with me is Mr. Lou Rod. How's it going, Lou?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And we have Charles. How's it going, man?
Doing really well, to be honest. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch Planet of the Apes, but I'm going to do that on Monday, so I can talk about it during our next show or something. But
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm really excited to talk about the news today.
So okay. You know what? We'll get to the news, but let's talk Planet of the Apes first. So, which means you're gonna probably have to mute yourself.
You know what?
Did you get my last email?
I did. I'm gonna look at it in a second. Okay. I just haven't read it.
I'm gonna turn down the volume on my computer, and you just start waving your hands when it's all good.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. I haven't read the last. Oh yes, I saw that news already. So, Planet's War for the Planet of the Apes. So this is all spoiler territory, guys. If you haven't watched it, please do not listen. Come back in about maybe 7 to 10 minutes, or like Charles here, you can have lunch, and then I'll just wave my hand when it's done. So War of the Planet of the Apes. What?
It looks like he was getting ready to unmute and get ready to come back.
Okay, no, don't do that. I haven't started yet. So first of all, should you watch this movie? Yes, just simple answer.
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Yeah, so just the non-spoiler version. Go watch War of the Planet of the Apes. It's an exciting movie, very solid. Look, if you haven't watched the first two, you don't have to. There's a nice little prequel story in the intro that leads you into this movie. I absolutely enjoyed it. You felt for Caesar. You also felt for the apes. You felt for the human beings too. You understood both sides of the story, and I think they did a fantastic job. What about you, Lou?
The movie was great. I really enjoyed it. Enjoy that beer. Rule the galaxy. Well, rule the gal.
Go ahead, continue.
The story was great. You like you said, you feel for all characters involved in this movie.
Yep.
I think you should watch both movies just.
To get
know what's really going on.
Context, but if you jump into this now, you can watch it and then go back and watch the others.
But no, this movie was brilliantly done. Batman, you're in good hands, even though you scrapped his script.
So let's put it this way: he never scrapped his script. That script was scrapped beforehand.
Yeah, I believe that part too. Everybody else is just is ripping.
No,
Mr. Campia.
All he said was they're starting a new script. He didn't necessarily even say he scrapped anything. He just said they're starting a new script. And most likely, this script, you're going to see that it's going to involve Ben Affleck still in the script. It's going to involve Matt Reeves. It's going to be a joint venture. They're all going to sit down and go, especially now that Matt Reeves wants, and you have to kind of scrap the script, because if Matt Reeves says he wants to do a trilogy, right? Then you now have to write that script like it's going to expand through 3 movies. So you can't write everything in one. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's no big deal. I was like, no, it's normal, it's fine. But Matt Reeves' direction in this movie was spot on. I think you will find the way he handled character elements, even, within maybe 5 minutes of the movie, you felt like Caesar was a human being, was his own being. It wasn't an ape, wasn't a CGI character, right? Every single ape in this movie had, especially the funny one, Bad Ape. Bad Ape's comedy timing was so spot on that made things.
Who played that one?
I don't know who played that one in there, but
I didn't stay for the credits since I knew there was no scene. Once the credit rolled, I rolled. But I mean, I thought we would have gotten a little more Woody Harrelson, but I was happy with what we got from him.
Yeah, I mean, for what he is, there was not more needed, and he needed to be the face of evil, only to realize he wasn't truly evil because he felt there was something he had to do. And when you figure out what that something is, I don't want to spoil that, but when you figure that out, you go, okay, I see why. I see why he did it. I don't blame him. You know, so there's a lot of that. There's just great character moments, great moments within the apes, the humans, the few humans. That even that one guy who was a archer who only talked a few times, but you could sense that he had some conflict. You know, just a little
He
bit. It's
was
like,
conflicted in the beginning, but at the end, he showed his true colors.
yeah, I mean, it's not even a matter of. I don't blame him because it is not. So I was talking to Sam about this. Was like, you look at it as like, but the apes, from a movie perspective, like, but the apes just want to live. Let's be practical. If this happened in real life, we will try and wipe out all the apes as possible. That's just it. This is not a sci-fi movie where you want to go, we'll leave coexist on the planet together. And when you find out why that they really can't coexist in the first place.
I mean, that was Caesar's goal, was to be, you stay your end, we'll stay on our end, and that is that. But it wasn't working out that way, and then the ending was funny. I'm sorry. It was like karma bit them in the ass.
Yeah. So it's that kind of stuff altogether. And I thought, okay, yeah, it was good. It was interesting all the way, and I think
a solid 9.
Yeah, definitely. I would put it up there as one of those movies where like even a 9.5, I could give it 9.5 easy. Because there was no point in the movie where I didn't feel like,
I mean, granted, my theater that I went to is, you pick your seat. There was it looks like a woman and her mom that ended up sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And they were crying at the end of the movie.
Okay. Cool. Good movie. Like I said, 9.5. I think it was solid offering. So definitely worth watching.
Jazz hands.
So just to confuse and mess with Charles, we are still talking spoilers, Charles, but I'm messing with you. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right, let's go into some. We're going to go into some news.
You're an ass.
Hey.
Now, Charles, did you see Preacher?
Yeah, I'm caught up.
No.
All right, give your 2-minute review on it because we haven't.
No, I was going to say we should leave that to the end because there's more important things to talk about, like D23, which
but we're going to talk so long on it. Preacher was just minute.
Yeah, but which is why we can add at the end. It's fine. People want to hear about D23, some of the things here. I'm going to start off first with something that we didn't watch, but it's a description of the trailer for.
I'm going to say Marvel, Disney, they could kiss our butts. Talk about we have to wait till October to most likely get that trailer.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're doing. So here's the thing. I'm going to describe the trailer for Infinity War. It says the trailer begins with the Guardians of the Galaxy in space. Suddenly, a body hits their spaceship. It's an unconscious Thor. Wearing his gladiator garb from Thor Ragnarok, as you expect, they bring him inside the ship and they ask what's going on. Next, we're on Earth, where our heroes are dealing with the death and destruction. Loki has the Tesseract. Peter Parker is on a school bus and sees his arm hairs tingling, spider sense maybe. It's hard to speak. It's hard to break down how wild this trailer is, but here's just some of the observations. Spider-Man has a new suit that looks quite advanced, a la the one end of Spider-Man Homecoming. Captain America has a beard and looks like he's been through a lot. Thanos wearing the gauntlet and pulls down part of a moon to battle the Avengers on an alien planet. Doctor Strange alongside the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Iron Man on this planet as well.
And then we also I get why Captain America has a beard, on the run, hiding out, doesn't want to be that normal look, different look. Natasha's going to have platinum blonde hair.
Okay.
Now I get why they didn't show us the trailer. because that gives a spoiler for the ending of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. The Thor Ragnarok comes out in November. So, I mean, if I were them, I would not actually even put that part in the trailer, though. I would just either, like, there's no need to just release other parts in the trailer. You don't have to do that Thor part in there, right? You can cut it out and put something else.
What's funny, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War finished production yesterday. They're about to start production on the second movie now.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see. What are your thoughts on that description there, Charles?
My thoughts on it are interesting. Although after reading the synopsis, I guess is what it was, talking about Thor crashing, like banging into the Guardian ship and everything. I'm sorry, that is a bit spoilery, and they should have left that out of the trailer. They really should have left it out. But
yeah.
And since they're going to be giving us the Infinity War trailer in October, which is going to be about a month before Ragnarok comes out, they really need to put that out of the trailer. Otherwise, people are going to go into Ragnarok expecting something like that to lead up to that, and it's just going to be spoilers. I mean,
what I read from one of the Twitter trailer people that's popular, that the trailer we get most likely in October will be altered. So they'll probably take out that scene because that movie's coming out.
I mean, as long as
a few months later.
I mean, they can have something bang into the ship, but don't show us what it is. Like maybe hear like a thunk. The Guardians say like, "Oh, what was that?" And then it goes to the next shot.
As long as they edit it out, I think they're fine with that. To me, the trailer sounds fine. You know, we'll see. It's still a year to the movie, so there's a lot to go. I mean, pretty much they are trying to make sure this movie makes $2 billion. That's
this movie's making
that's the goal to make $2 billion. So with that description, I want to know what, like, this now puts my mind what Justice League has to do, like just in terms of trailer production wise.
Honestly, all Justice League needs to do is just be a good movie.
Yeah,
and they'll make $1 billion, maybe 1.1, 1.2, and then when Justice League 2 comes out, the hype will be real for it.
Yeah.
Everybody will be cramming like, oh, Justice League was good. Then that one could supersede and make 1.5, 1.6.
Yeah.
No, they just need to build.
They just need to build. All right, let's go back to D23 stuff. So, A Wrinkle in Time trailer dropped today.
Beautiful.
With Ava DuVernay, of course. Oprah Winfrey plays one of the main characters. Also, Chris Pine plays the father, and then the main character is this young girl who has been in a few things before. I just cannot remember what she was in. And but thoughts on the trailer. So while Charles is looking, go ahead, fire up, Lou. What do you think?
I thought the trailer, this little
Wrinkle
minute 50.
It was a full trailer.
Teaser?
No, it was a full trailer.
It's listed as a teaser.
I think there was a lot of stuff in there, man.
It did give a lot of stuff, but it looked gorgeous. Yo, this is her first crack at $100 million movie, and it looks spectacular.
Yeah, no, definitely good. Look good. I don't know the storyline from the book.
I don't know nothing about that either. You know, me and books.
But I did like. I would say the trailer got me very interested in seeing it. So March 9th is when it's coming out. But what did you think, Charles?
I'm sorry, I was a little sidetracked trying to look up this Wrinkle in Time movie. But what
the trailer?
The trailer for what?
The Wrinkle
in Time.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the trailer.
All right,
yeah.
All right.
It was in chat.
What?
He just didn't have time. Don't worry. It's fine.
Yeah.
I will say though, with the Wrinkle in Time, though, like I said, it looked good. It looked like they were doing. She had a very good idea of what she would like to do with this film, and it looks like the story has to do with saving her father and also stopping darkness. You know, it's very simple tropes and things like that, but we'll see how that plays out in the movie. But definitely looked on point, and I think a lot of people will like that.
It has me intrigued to probably check it out.
All right, I found the actress that I was looking for. The little girl, the actress that's playing the little girl, Meg Murray, which I assume is the star of the movie and is the daughter that's looking for the father and everything. Her name is Storm Reed, and as far as I can see, she's only really been the only major movies that she's been in recently would be 12 Years a Slave. She's done a little bit of she did like guest work on NCIS Los Angeles.
Okay.
She was in a movie called Slight.
Slight, yeah.
Yeah,
That's probably where I remember her from. I haven't finished Slight, but yeah. But because I haven't seen 12 Years a Slave yet. I've just seen the trailer. So, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
All right, moving on. There was some behind the scenes footage, like I told you would happen for Star Wars. And we got a 2-minute and 53-second trailer for it. And it told me absolutely nothing about the movie, me personally, anyway.
That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Which is a good thing. All he told me was that Rian Johnson was the one who wrote the script, and he's directing this movie. We'll have to see. But I mean, it's Star Wars. Just wait and see it. Like, to me, I personally didn't need this. I didn't care because I watched. There was like there's nothing new other than seeing Princess Leia again. That's the upside.
Well, what was new is Rey in practice mode was fighting 3 could be Knights of Ren characters in the movie. That's where we won't know until we see. Kylo Ren was training himself.
I don't care at all. You know why? Until Star Wars gives me fight scenes that I will care about, because they do.
I think we're gonna get that. I think we'll finally get them in this movie.
Because the only time we got it was in episode 3.
Yeah, that was episode 3. Yeah. That was when we as children saw 4, 5, and 6, those lightsaber battles were epic.
No, they were not epic to me. Look, I grew up watching Hong Kong movies, man. So none of that stuff fazed me. That's why I liked Han Solo. I was like, Han Solo had a blaster and he just pow. Yeah.
It was like that. It was like that scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where the guy was doing the whole thing with his sword and then he just shot him.
Exactly. So for me, it was basically that. It was basically that. So yeah. But anyway, what did you think, Charles?
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing I didn't watch.
Gotcha. All right. You know what, Charles? I'm not even going to ask you any questions anymore. Let's move over to some casting news. So first of all, they had a panel for the Disney live action, which also includes Wrinkle in Time. They announced that Hugh Jackman is going to be the voice of Scar, which I found.
It's not confirmed.
Oh, sorry, not confirmed. Okay,
Screen Rant is confirming it from an unknown website, so I'm not buying that.
Never mind. I thought that was from D23. Now the confirmation from D23, just 2 days after they said Disney cannot find
Aladdin and Jasmine.
It's been confirmed. The main cast for Aladdin is Mina Mossad, and then Naomi Scott, who is
the Pink Ranger from Power Rangers.
And then Will Smith is the genie.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah.
Look. No. I'm gonna have to go with Lou on this. I'm not feeling Will Smith as the genie. I'm not. He's a good actor. I just don't see him pulling this off.
I see him pulling this off. You know why?
Why?
I'll put it this way. First of all, no one's going to replace what's his name?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. And I'm sure it will play into this script that this is a different genie. So that just covers that.
Okay, if they try to copy the genie from the animated movie, I will be annoyed. But if they try to do their own thing, I'll be willing to accept it.
Second, he's going to play the genie a little bit like Fresh Prince.
A little bit. Oh, well, no, I was a fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I
enjoyed Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but he's just not that comedic to me.
Well, I mean, to me, the genie wasn't comedic. It was timing, and it was script timing than anything else.
Yeah.
So to me, look, you have to go with something.
Yeah, but
to me, it's Guy Ritchie. Will Smith can do Guy Ritchie's timing. That's the thing. Guy Ritchie is a timing director. Remember, you watched King Arthur, right? Remember that scene where they were talking about, tell me about your day. and you were telling the story, that's a typical Guy Ritchie movie. The person who can do that well, Will Smith. You're gonna have those kind of things happen in this movie because you remember Aladdin's a thief. You're gonna have all those kind of tropes. So go watch Guy. Like think about who the director is first, and then look up Guy Ritchie movies. He does his movies a certain way. So this movie is gonna be tempo flow, and then you're gonna have he's gonna be mixed in with how many songs does Aladdin have? 3 or 4 songs.
I don't know, but it's gonna be a musical.
Yeah, I mean it has to be. It's still gonna have 4 songs. I Can Show You the World in Prince Ali, Abdulaziz Ali Ababwa. I can't remember that song, but
if it's gonna be a musical, I'm out. I'm not gonna watch it.
Charles, did you watch the Aladdin movie cartoon?
A long time ago.
And they had songs.
It's going to be that. It's going to be that movie beat for beat, maybe with a few changes.
Yeah, but I was a kid when I watched Aladdin the last time. I think I was like around maybe 9, maybe 10 years old at the time.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The songs will still resonate.
I didn't know any better back then. Nowadays, I understand musicals are crap, no matter what they are.
Wow.
Jungle Book was good.
I'm not going to watch that movie. I'm not. If it has song, if they start breaking into
2 songs,
if they break into song even once, I'm out. I just can't do it. I can't.
Wow. You need to broaden your horizon.
I do broaden my horizon. I just don't go to the horizon of musicals.
So in other news, Dumbo is set for 2019, and
don't care.
and now see why Will Smith didn't do Dumbo. Think now on the business side of things, it's a smarter move.
Well, I would assume it would have something to do across the lines of like the crows in the movie, because I remember that there was this controversy in the original animated Dumbo movie where it was like something to do with racism because they had these crows perched up on this wire.
I never watched original Dumbo. So
the reason why it was controversial is because they made the crows out to be the stereotypical black man of the time, is basically what it was. And back then they didn't care, but then as people got older and began to realize the connections, that's when the controversy sparked.
I see.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have no interest in Dumbo, so I could give 3 ticks of a rat's.
I mean, I was never a fan of Dumbo to begin with either. When I watched the original animated movie, it just bored the hell out of me.
No, I mean, like I said, I can see why. If I'm Will Smith, whether it's a controversy and also, or there's Aladdin on the table. I mean, which would you pick?
Oh yeah, Aladdin, hands down.
So I mean,
I just don't see the appeal of a big stupid elephant flying with ears.
Well, I know someone in particular that would be super excited about that.
But yeah, anyway, let's not all get bummed out here. Everybody sounds all like, I don't care right now.
Well,
so
if the rumor does pan out to be true as far as Hugh Jackman as Scar, I don't like it.
To be honest, I would rather have Jeremy Irons come back.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the thing. Like, if Jeremy Irons is not around, I understand.
Yeah,
but he is around,
and he's still acting.
For Christ's sake, you got Mufasa back. Why can't you just get Scar back?
Oh,
they're switch up everyone else, but just keep those 2 as the key voice elements from the animated movie, and fans will eat it.
Yes. So James Earl Jones is coming back to play Mufasa.
Of course.
Yes, because he's only in the movie for 10 or 15 minutes. So his lines will be short.
Yeah, exactly. But no, come on. I mean, if like Jeremy Irons was like focusing on like some DC movie playing Alfred, I would understand. But as far as I know, his schedule is pretty open right now.
Well, I mean, anyway, we'll see. It's not confirmed, so let's not get too pissed up about that one right now.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, Robert De Niro got Joe Pesci out of retirement for The Irishman.
Yeah, so let's leave that for a second. Into other news segment that we also have. Let's get this straight here. So we have starting off with the Wonder Woman 2 rumors from Screen Rants, which I don't believe either.
What that it's going to take place in 1980?
El Mayimbe confirmed it.
Okay.
And Jeff Insnyder also confirms it. I think that's stupid, but whatever.
I think that is the first round of stuff that they're throwing out there. I don't think that's final. The only thing I can think of is it depends on how you write it. If you write it that somehow, going to Hades and bringing Chris Pine back that way, that has to deal with her aunt. Remember, her aunt is also going to Hades, the one that died. That then I can see it happen. Not something that he's still alive. That because somebody had a good point. They said, why would they bring him back unless he's corrupted? It's not the same version of him. Maybe somebody was trying to deal with her, and then brought him back, so you could sway her. And it's not the same person. It's an evil version or a corrupted version of him, and that is why she wanted to get that. That adds more sense to her getting that picture to remember the true version of him instead, like something like that. In some of that veins, you could do some of that, but I don't know. I'm just saying that you have to, if you do it, you have to write it well, like to the T.
Yeah, I think going from like the end of World War I all the way to the 1980s, that is a hell of a time jump.
And it doesn't matter though, really.
I mean, a lot can happen in between that time. I mean, they could have explored something like maybe the 1950s, right after World War II.
I mean, you could do it this way. Remember, by the end of the story, Batman says, "You have to tell me more, like about this." And maybe she's telling some of that, and that's where some of that stuff comes back from. That.
Now, if that's how they're doing it, where she's telling a story to, like you just said it, Batman, and say Flash explaining some of her backstory, then I would buy it. The fact that they want to shift gear, dude, we've already had the 80s with the damn X-Men. I don't want to go back to the 80s. I got the 80s with Stranger Things.
I mean, I like I said, I get you. I'm just saying it has to be written well. So that's the one thing I would just say as an exclamation point. But we'll wait and see. We don't know yet. We have no idea yet. We also talked about Matt Reeves restarting Batman. So there's no need for us to continue that anymore in terms of topics. Black Panther, bunch of images this week.
I saw those images. Yeah,
20 images.
Looks interesting. There was one image that really like stuck out at me. It's the one where Martin Freeman's character is like standing in like a snowy area with 3 Wakandans. One of them is Angela Bassett, and I'm wondering like is he there talking to them and they're like near an advanced section of Wakanda, or are those 3 women?
I can explain all that scene for you.
Well, it's just, I mean, I would assume that those 3 women are standing there dressed in those garbs to sort of maintain the front that Wakanda is not as advanced as everyone, as it really is.
No, they are going into Man Apes territory, M'Baku's territory. They live up in the mountains. And they worship the white gorilla, which is what they also talked about, saying they're not going to call him Man Ape just because of the racial undertones and stuff like that. So they're treating it as them worshiping, just like even Black Panther in the comics. It kind of touches that, like his family consider the Panther as their
protector.
Their protector is also their spirit animal, the god they worship. So the same thing with Man Ape, with the white gorilla. So his territory, and a lot of things there is that Man Ape does not like the fact that he went to the UN. His father went to the UN. Like, now you've exposed us to the outside world. And, this might cause civil war in Wakanda. So that's a lot of that internal fighting. The 2 women there were his sister and his fiance or girlfriend or wife or whatever role she's played in the movie, Lupita Nyong'o. The sister is intellect level is the same as Tony Stark.
Didn't they say she's not as smart as Tony? But she's
intellect
up there almost.
Yeah, I mean it's the same as Tony, but Tony's always upped whenever you need to up Tony up. So
I thought that woman. I thought the articles that I read said that she was smarter than Stark.
Yeah, I mean, again, it all depends on how you want to frame it. I'll put it this way: it's like that, but she's very smart. She makes a lot of tech. She is.
She's their version of Tony.
Yeah, she's his sister. She made the gauntlet. She made also Lupita's like sickle discs that she throws and uses, and then the last a woman, of course, is Angela Bassett, who is his mom. Yeah, in
Well,
the movie.
What?
ain't she the
What?
stepmom?
I'm not exactly sure if she. I can't remember. I'm not sure if she's stepmom or the mom.
Because I was hearing, I think it was Emergency Awesome who said that she's the stepmom, but he looks at her as a mother because she's been around for so long. Because his real mom died, and I think that's what happens in the comic. The
Yeah.
father remarries.
Yeah. So yeah, this is you can see the set pictures just to show people while we're talking here. That's the whole cast. So you have Lupita, you've got Black Panther, his mother. What's her name again from The Walking Dead? She's
Michonne.
Michonne is the chief guard. This is his best friend who handles border security, who basically makes sure that people think Wakanda is backward. Of course, what's his name again?
Forrest Whitaker.
Thank you. Forrest Whitaker is the shaman. And then Killmonger, that's right up there as Michael B. Jordan. And then this is his sister here. Then we have some more shots here on the slideshow. Him and Killmonger and his best friend. You can see the Hajimajai, which are the ladies with the bald head, who are Wakandan. They guard the king in Wakanda. Him and Killmonger again. And you've got the shot of the sister, and you've got the shot of Lupita. This is Black Panther, I think, defending his title against Killmonger. If I can find the other image here where they both go into battle. Here we go. Here it is. And the interesting thing is Killmonger is covered with all these markings all over his body, which we'll have to find out in the movie. So,
Well, it could end up representing each kill he's ever made.
that is way too many for kills. That's
because his body's all he's covered up in all those things.
Yeah, that's called genocide.
Well, I mean, his name is Killmonger, so
yeah, it's called Martin Freeman, and then Andy Serkis, and then Ryan Coogler, the director, Black Panther, just chilling with the outfit. So yeah, I mean, it looks dope. I will say, like a lot of people have said, like, look, cosplay, black cosplay has a whole set of new outfits. Plus, because they're very vibrant, they're bright, they've got that cultural mix to it. They're not the traditional either spandex or metallic cosplay looks on there. So,
well, no, I mean that's one thing I wanted to mention where you showed the photo of like everyone like sitting around that tree, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, all that stuff. I got to admit, I think Black Panther has the best collection of costumes out of all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
Oh, out of all Marvel and DC, I mean, straight up, I think everyone. I mean, because here you're dealing more with almost like a country royal aspect, so you have to. And remember the trailer. Remember the guy with the ring in his mouth. Also, like there's so much more. Plus, there's M'Baku, his people. They're also different tribes, which they will probably hint at. There you see different outfits.
How does he talk?
Man, I don't know. I don't know how those people talk, man. But there are people like that out there. There are tribes who have
those
that
big old coins in their lip, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch!
Just say, man.
Isn't it like a status symbol or
it
something?
is. The bigger the coin, the higher the status. It's like, I mean, bigger is better. That's how it is around the world anyway. So it's the same.
And then there's the saying, bigger is not always better.
Yeah. And then we've got moving on to X-Men. We've got a first look at Cyclops' visor.
Yeah, I like the old one more. The one that was shown at the end of Apocalypse. Yeah, this new visor just looks cheap, to be honest.
No, I like the visor. It's fine. The one in Apocalypse to me was, I mean, he tried to match the retro look, but it just didn't look good on film. This is very similar to that. It's just wider. It's got a wider berth to it, but I think it's fine. Granted, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same kid in Ready Player One, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, and he's wearing a visor there also.
Yeah, but the visor in Ready Player One look goofy.
It's a VR headset. No, actually, that's meant to be goofy. So, because that's his first VR headset. It's very cheap. Because in the book, in the world, everybody goes to school on the virtual reality. So that's like the government issued VR headset that he's given for his public
At
school.
least it's better than Google Cardboard.
Yeah, so that's what he has, and until you move on and he progresses and he has like some really dope ass gear with like motion suits that makes you feel everything around your body while you're in there, like stuff like that.
I'm good.
Trust me, you will like this movie, man.
No, I'll probably check the movie out. I just don't care for VR.
Yeah, neither do I. There's not that many good games that look good.
It's not even about the games. Like they discussed this morning on the weekly. I don't really like things on my face. Besides, granted, my glasses. That's about it.
Oh, you silly people!
No, I mean, I can't even take my glasses off. Without my glasses, I'm basically blind.
I didn't say that.
I'm basically.
Well, Sam and Juan agreed that they don't really care for VR.
That's them. Anyway, moving on to some more news. Defenders has a new image out there. Gang of Four. Just come out. I really don't care at this point. What do you guys think? I mean,
it's I mean,
yeah.
We also got the Punisher poster the other day. I don't care. Just come out. I think we're getting a trailer for Punisher next week.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the big things taken from D23 is not much will be seen. Although we just got word from Mark Ruffalo said a Hulk standalone movie will never happen
because of the distribution rights with Universal.
Yeah. Most likely, yeah.
And that's probably the same reason why you will never get a Namor movie, but you could use Namor if they choose to.
Yeah. Did the rights to Namor go back to Marvel Studios or no?
It's like the Hulk. It's the same status.
It's distribution rights with Universal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
if they were to use Namor, like let's say they bring him into like an Avengers movie or something like that, I mean, it would create a whole new can of worms because it would introduce Atlantis,
which they don't have. So
yeah.
Well, the
thing is that it depends on if Aquaman is so on point next year. That was going to try and force their hand where they have to kind of introduce Namor. And for me, introducing Namor would be either you don't have to introduce him in Infinity War 2. You could introduce him at the end of Infinity War 2 because maybe they've just been staying quiet and they don't even care about what's happening in the surface world until the end of all the catastrophe, right? Mm-hmm. And then that's when they decide to surface and come out and sees like what the hell is going on. And then Reed Richards comes back with, through Tear of Fabric and Time, or whatever you want to call it. Make some excuse. They come back from the negative zone. Boom, done.
Oh, God. Well, the thing is that Fantastic Four is still with Fox, and I highly doubt that it's going to be going back to Marvel Studios anytime soon.
I know. Honestly, by then, by the time Infinity War 2, that's 3 years. That's enough time for you to try and work something out.
Okay.
Infinity War is in 2 years. It's coming out in 2019.
The only way that Fantastic Four will ever go back to Marvel Studios is if Fox attempts another Fantastic Four movie and they fail again.
No, they just have to do a Sony deal.
That's going to be their best bet.
Sony might be willing to make a deal with Spider-Man with Marvel Studios, but Fox is not going to be willing to do any kind of deal for any reason.
Because time is running out. There's also a time limit to those deals. If you don't make a certain movie at a certain time, it will revert back. So it's not just you have to. That's why they keep making movies and it sucks.
Yeah,
it has to be in production.
So they make the movies in order to retain the rights. If they don't, if they don't make the movie, then it will eventually revert back to Marvel Studios. Mm-hmm. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Then I'm like, damn it! Then don't give us another Fantastic Four movie and just wait it out.
Yeah, but I mean, Fox wants one, so it's either they start a production or they look over and say, "Hey, do you want to do this? How about we split it 50-50?" That's a better deal than Sony, which means if you use it in your movies, you get all the rights. If you use it in yours, you get 50%. That means you're getting 150. Mm-hmm. Or you're getting 100. We're getting 50. Sorry, because at least it's 50-50 in that sense.
I mean, That's the best deal. I mean, remember, there's 6 states that we don't know what movies are going to be what coming down the pipe from Fox. One of them can be another crappy Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
And from what we've seen on the internet, they're going to tone that one into like more kid friendly.
They just need to find the right direction for it, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see how that goes on there. All right, let's switch to shows. I mean, a lot of the news junkets have been stuff that it's fine. Dark Tower had a second trailer, which international trailer. I didn't like it that much. It didn't tell me anything new, so but I'm still gonna watch it. I'm excited to see it.
What's interesting with the Dark Tower is he's also going to function in the television show that's coming with it.
Who's
that's in the notes? Idris Elba.
Idris Elba is going to be involved with the television show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Read the email, E. Read the email. You would have saw that.
All right, let's talk about shows. Preacher. I haven't caught up, so yeah. Charles, fire away, man.
All right. Well, the most
for us is fine.
Okay, the most recent episode. I don't remember the name of the episode, but it's basically going on with what I mean. It's sort of like a two-sided thing. Where on one side actually three-sided really. One side you have Tulip with Victor and what's going on with them. On the other hand, you got Eugene. You have Eugene in hell because the episode prior to this most recent one, at the end, you see Eugene walking out of his cell in hell, and he sees Adolf Hitler. Well, you get to see that further explored in this new episode, and then the other side is what's going on between Jesse and what's his name, Cassidy. The stuff between Jesse and Cassidy was quite minor, but the stuff that was going on with Hell, that stuff was probably the best part of the entire episode, where it looks like we're like in Hell, you have each prisoner in their own cell, and in their cell they have like a holographic projector type device, and this holographic projector displays your worst memory on repeat. And something goes wrong with the projectors, and so the doors open. People are able to exit their cells. It looks like there is this bully in hell that is targeting Eugene, basically talking about how he could like take his dick and put it in Eugene's mouth, and he would do oral and anal at the same.
Wow! Let's take it easy with the language. Just take it easy.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Lou's reaction made me smile.
Oh, I can't. Now I'll really watch this episode.
Yeah, but apparently in the whole endeavor in hell, Eugene and Adolf Hitler end up bonding because Adolf is the only one that's really nice to him.
Figure.
Everyone is pretty much a dick to him, but Adolf Hitler is the only one that's being decent. Eugene ends up meeting up with the commander of Hell, which is this woman in some sort of military outfit. She's wearing a beret with like 3 stars on it, and she has this assistant that's like a really big muscular guy that's wearing like a dress suit. And she's like saying like, look, I mean, I understand you're a nice kid and all that stuff, but you're in hell. We have a certain type of behavior that we have a certain kind of behavior here that you are expected to express. Basically what she was saying is that if you're a nice guy, we're going to toss you in the hole. And if you're a mean, damn it, I don't know how else to say it without saying the word. If you're an asshole, you'll be treated fine or something like that. I don't know. But, it was interesting, and then of course there was a moment where that kid, that bully, was bullying Eugene, telling him to say the word Mississippi, and because of his whole face thing, he'd have difficulty saying Mississippi, and Eugene kept ignoring him, and then he said like, say Mississippi, and he got up on the table, was about to hit him, and Adolf got between them, and he says like stop it, I'm telling you, stop it. And the bully was going like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he just says, oh, you just better stop it. And so the bully smacks Adolf Hitler to the ground, and he's like, oh, I just hit Adolf Hitler. So then everybody gangs up on Adolf Hitler, and as they're beating him, they're chanting the words Sig Heil. And eventually Eugene is just standing there and he's watching the whole thing play itself out. And he then says, like, wait, wait, wait. And then Adolf Hitler's all bloodied, has blood coming out of his nose and his mouth, and he's smiling like he's about to say thank you, Eugene, for saving him. And then of course, Eugene gets on top, just stands above Adolf Hitler, and he screams at the top of his lungs, Sig Heil, and he starts punching them, and then everybody starts joining in. And I think that was sort of Eugene's way of like taking out the biggest guy in a prison just so he could earn some respect, something like that.
Okay.
And the stuff that was going on with Tulip, Tulip was meeting with Victor, and she was taken by Victor, and Victor is like a crime boss in New Orleans, and he has like this guy that wears a dress, like a dress vest and a button-up shirt and a tie, and he wears like a latex apron or something, and he starts torturing people for, you know, whatever, just because. And he listens to music while doing it, and Tulip is sitting in Victor's office while this is going on, and apparently she had done something to Victor in the past. It wasn't really explored, that like she betrayed him and then she ran. That's about the gist of what I got from that. And she kept saying that she was sorry. Victor said, I need you to come up with a better answer. So why don't you just walk around the house, try to collect your thoughts, and then come back to me with a better answer. And she starts running around. She starts talking to the inhabitants of the house. She ends up getting spat in the face by Victor's daughter. And Victor's daughter pretty much tells her, yeah, I hope my dad kills you. And that was pretty crazy. And then of course the stuff going on with Cassidy and Jesse is Cassidy's trying to find a way to explain to Jesse what happened with Tulip. Jesse is ignoring her, and then Cassidy finally just like stops it and says, like, you know what, I'm not supposed to tell you, but I think I need to tell you so that we can go save her. And Jesse like goes like, where is she? And Jesse goes into the place, and he starts using the Genesis voice to start controlling everybody. He ends up getting into a fight with the torturer where the guy ends up going after him with a sledgehammer. He keeps trying to use the voice, but since he's wearing earbuds, he can't hear him, so it's not having no effect. Then, of course, he manages to overpower the guy with the sledgehammer. He demands to know where Tulip is. He goes into where Tulip is, which is in the bedroom with Victor, and that's when we find out that Tulip is the wife of Victor. Tulip was married to Victor, and they're still married technically. Jesse ends up taking Victor, putting him up in the strap around the arms. We're in the torture room, and is basically going to like go completely crazy on Victor. And that's pretty much the end of the episode right there.
That's next week's episode.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. I thought the stuff going on in hell was pretty cool because, I mean, because when Hitler was getting beat on by all those people, I'm sorry, I kind of felt bad because I mean,
but that was the idea to try, because he was helping Jesse. No, it's not Jesse. Eugene. He was helping Eugene, so you kind of like but then, you know, when Eugene beats him up, you know that's the right person he was supposed to beat up anyway. Yeah. In the first place. So that's the whole idea there. But I mean, that sounds pretty good. That's spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Come to the end of the show. What do we have?
I have to sit there and say, I watched Ghost in the Shell, and I found the movie to be rather entertaining. I don't see what the big fuss was.
I'm probably going to get it eventually too.
I can tell you why a lot of people didn't like Ghost in the Shell, and I was like, it's because it didn't capture the essence of Ghost in the Shell.
I mean, I didn't see the anime, so yeah. I guess someone who has seen it.
No, it's not that, and that's the thing. The reason why you said it's okay. Ghost in the Shell is a very awesome. It didn't translate the same way, so that's why you thought it was. It was okay. It was cool.
Yeah, but I mean, do we really think any anime is going to translate well to a big screen adaptation?
Yeah. They could have, because they focused on the wrong story points. That's the thing. They made it more about like the way her character was. She took care of her people. That was her thing. Like, you know, to a large degree, because she's felt that her life is already gone. Like she is that Ghost in the Shell. So they took it, and her character was like that from the beginning. So they're trying to make the studio like, she hasn't gone to that point yet, but that character was never developed that way. The character was always developed as soon as she lost her body, done. She literally just said, "Look, it's about my peeps. It's about that." And then the chemistry between the people was not there. It's a very good chemistry, because the one guy who uses the earpiece that had no implants. There's one character in there. He was made fun. Like
the guy from
inspector
Batman.
Yeah, him. He has no implants. He always uses like an earpiece that feeds him information and all that stuff. So everybody makes fun of him for that, and he's the only one that can't fully interact like they do. And they keep it's this funny thing that shows the dynamic of everything in there. So those things were missing to make it go, like, for you to care more or be more interested in it. That's why a lot of people are like, And then, of course, like, the whole whitewashing controversy just kind of puts it on a damper. But to me, that was the problem with Ghost in the Shell more than anything else. It was that aspect. If they had fixed it.
Visually, it was beautiful. I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the anime, so I can't transfer that to that. But for what I watched, I was rather entertained with it.
For me, it was
maybe but see, anime, you could tell a different story because it's not that big of a budget.
No, like I say, it wasn't. Like I say, it was not that. The essence of the character was not there. Like, you look at that and you go, I mean, it's like how even like how people complain about Man of Steel, say that's not Superman, and I say it is. I'm like, well, it's just a different type they've shown.
That's Superman in training wheels, man.
No, but they haven't shown you, like, this is not even a matter. I'm like, they didn't go look at the source material, and they didn't take any essence of the character from source material put in. And that's the thing, because when you look at it that way, you find out that the characters are more engaging. She herself, she is like, she and the guy with the eyes, him, they are like. He treats her like his younger sister, and she treats him like his younger brother, even though he protects her more most of the time. Whenever he can, he would jump in. So that dynamic relationship wasn't there. That's why I say that.
I don't know. I kind of got that feel from watching the movie that he looked at her like sister vibe.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, there was a little bit more to that where it's a back and forth. Like, but he did, but she didn't really do that. That's why I say that those kind of dynamics are not in there. That made it more telling, But like I said, it was decent, It is what it was.
For the audience members out there that thoroughly enjoyed Straight Outta Compton, they should check out the Defiant Ones on HBO. 4 episodes for season 1. It's the story of Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, and you see so much more of the dynamic of how Dre influenced what he did, how they created beats together, how Jimmy came up in the music industry. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth sitting there checking it out. I mean, I watched it Wednesday. I started episode 1. I watched the first 3 episodes literally
3 hours.
Because it was just that good.
Okay. All right, cool. Definitely check it out. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us here on Board at Work. We will also have this on replay on Board, where we do most of our trailer reactions. So check us there. Subscribe to On Board as well. And tomorrow, Sunday, we start our Game of Thrones recap show, which will happen 15 minutes after it airs. Each episode is different in Game of Thrones in terms of length.
Well, there's only one episode that's really going to be starting at 10 p.m., 10:05. That's like the 5th episode of the season.
No, but each episode is how long again? Oh, it's 7. But I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. Just 15 minutes.
They average about 60 minutes each.
Yeah.
With the exception of the 6th and 7th, where the 6th one is a little longer, and then the last one is 80.
Yeah.
So
just
the 5th one.
Just say this: we'll be on air around 10:20 tomorrow. So catch us then. Our crew, the original crew, doing that show will be back. Mr. Andrew Cameron is back. He's got a new headset, new mic, all ready to discuss Game of Thrones. So
new headset, new PC.
yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Definitely like, share, subscribe, and always enjoy your entertainment.
Bye-bye.
Oh, oops, sorry, wrong mouse.